This is a Headgum podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Spoon Man. Now, I remember when I was a little boy, about 1/50th this size, and I'd wake up every morning and I'd run downstairs and I'd get a big bowl of cereal and I'd be in heaven. You can't do it anymore. It would just be a sugar bowl. It was just a bowl of sugar. It wasn't good for you. It was horrible. And then as an adult, what do you got for options? You got a bowl of wood. That's what lifestyle. It's just a bowl of wood. It stinks. That is until Magic Spoon. That's right. Magic Spoon's delicious. It's replicated your favorite childhood cereals to taste good, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs per serving. Just to let you know, the Honey Nut flavor contains 1 gram of sugar, but that 1 gram is worth it, baby. It's wholesome. It's a keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to relive those moments watching your favorite cartoons right at the foot of your mom and dad's bed. Plus, Magic Spoon is only 140 calories a serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful, and you got a lot of options. With over 8 unique flavors, you won't get bored of feeling good with Magic Spoon. My favorite flavor? Well, hey, I like that Honey Nut because I like a little taste of sugar, but I like the cookies and cream. I like the maple waffle. I like cinnamon roll. I like all those flavors that make me feel like a kid again because we all just want to go back to childhood. I moved to Hollywood. I never grew up. That's why I like Magic Spoon. And you know what? Wise's going to love this. Birthday cake is back. The super popular, previously limited edition only flavor is back to stay. We're celebrating our birthdays early with this fan favorite. And it gets better. Magic Spoon is delivered right to your door. You don't got to go to the supermarket to get it. It's delivered right to your feet, and you're good to go. So all you got to do is head to magicspoon.com/doughboys to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. And be sure to use our promo code Doughboys at checkout to save $5 off of your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/doughboys and use promo code Doughboys to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Approximately 20,000 years ago, Neolithic Chinese potters pioneered the concave serving and eating basin that remains an essential part of any kitchen, the bowl. This versatile vessel has become the most utilized dish in the world, besting even its flatter sibling, the plate. And while Americans have always eaten out of bowls, be they filled with soup or salad, the bowl-focused chain restaurant is a relatively recent phenomenon, spawning from a market demand for healthier and/or budget-friendly yet filling meals ready to eat. And so it falls to this podcast to settle, whose bowls make us say bravo. 8 wannabes enter in 4 first-round matchups: the Poke region, Poke Bar v Sweetfin; the Acai region, Jamba v Pressed; the Rumblies region, Chipotle v Yoshinoya; and this week, the Work Lunch region, which matches up 2 fast-growing, fast-casual concepts that have found success as go-tos for the once cubicle, now Zoom set. Cava, an endlessly customizable Mediterranean outlet founded in 2011 by a trio of Greek-American friends with 250 locations nationwide. And Sweetgreen, the hipster farm-to-table approximation founded in 2007 by a triforce of college classmates with 150 outlets across the land of opportunity. Both headquartered in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and both currently lurking on the outside of the Golden Plate Club, which of these office drone filling stations will advance in the quest for the most hallowed trophy in chain restaurant podcasting, the Dave Thomas Cup, or shall we say, the Dave Thomas Bowl? We shall. It's the Dave Thomas Bowl now. This week on Doughboys, the first quarter-pounder final matchup of Munch Madness 2023, the Tournament of Chompions, Bowl, Work Lunch region, Cava
versus
Sweetgreen.
Let's go.
It's the Doughboys!
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Nick Weiger, along with my co-host, Usain Bowl, the Spoon Man Mike Mitchell.
Wow. A bowl
bowl roast from John from New Hampshire, also from New Hampshire, I'm Art Brink, our engineer. A roast in honor of the retirement of Asafa Powell, the 100-meter world record holder before Usain Bolt. I wonder if Mitch will tell the story about how he ran a mile to pass gym class. Wife and I love your show. Keep it up, y'all. roastspoonman@gmail.com.
I'm not going to tell
You're not going to do it?
No.
Are you sure?
Skipped too many gyms.
Okay.
And then the gym teacher said, if you guys can run a mile, I said it was under, I was like, when I told the story, I was like, under 7 minutes. And then Micus, like they all listen to the podcast. It was like under like 10 minutes. And I was like, it might have been under 10 minutes. I think it was under like 9 or 8 minutes. But I also maybe would have died at under those. And then so we were.
But you're also young. You were like a kid.
I was young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked great. And then Micus and Chankton ran behind me and pushed me for like the last couple. They like literally pushed me.
Yeah.
For the last couple laps. That's all. That's the story. There it is again.
While we're talking about you and fitness and sports related topics, did you ever row crew in college?
I rode crew.
Oh wow, okay.
I rode on the Schuylkill River. I rode what's the Rochester? Schuylkill is Pennsylvania.
Yes.
I rode on Lake Cayuga, Wags. There's no fun crew stories.
Right.
Ward Romer, my coach, great guy.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Great guy, Ward Romer.
I just have
at the end of the year, at like the breakdown when we were done, he was like, "It was a great year." Like, and he was like, "Mike Mitchell, like, really lost a lot of weight." He didn't say this at the breakdown. It was nice. I'm eating healthy, Wags. I'm doing well.
I'm doing the same, and that brings us to the Tournament of Chompions, which is here, Mitch.
It's Munch Madness, Wags, and we got quite the guest to kick it off. This is pretty wild.
We sure do. We're eating healthy. You both of us are trying to eat healthy IRL in our actual lives, and we're eating healthy for the tournament for once.
Yes.
Just to try to have a change of pace. I'll say this.
Is it completely healthy? I mean, it's way better than things we've done in the past.
Yes, yeah. But I will say that, like, I don't know where you are, Mitch. I find myself in a rut where I am doing everything right, I feel. And, like, this Coke Zero is the closest I have to a treat. Like that,
that
one
sucks.
Coke Zero a day, and that's like my indulgence. I feel like I'm doing everything right, and the scale is going nowhere. I'm just completely stagnant. I'm completely plateaued.
Is your gut on like the towel rack, like The Simpsons with Homer? Is it that sort of?
It's not
scenario?
a towel rack situation. It's more of a I will same scale every day. Weigh myself every day. Weigh myself first thing in the morning.
You've already slimmed down quite a bit though before you started doing this.
I slimmed down and then I ballooned back up.
Yeah.
I yo-yoed last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're having the same experience, if you feel like your weight is going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't look at the scale. You fucking kidding me?
That's a thing. You weigh yourself every day to reduce scale anxiety.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I do not want to look at the scale yet, but I will.
Wow.
But I walked like 7 miles yesterday.
Oh, good for you.
I was like exhausted by the time I was done. And
it's a lot of miles.
I literally walked and I got home at like 3 and I fell asleep till like 6:30. I fell asleep for 3.5 hours. But you know what? I did the walk. That's all that matters.
And that last mile, like Micus and Chankton were pushing.
Yeah, they were behind me, pushing me back to the house.
Got it.
I went with Mookie. And I've been, and then last night, you know what? I went out and I actually had a couple rum and Diet Cokes.
Nice.
Which I'm trying not to drink at all, but I did a show.
Sure.
I went to UCB Theater for
I
went to the new UCB Theater for the first time.
Wow.
I hadn't been there.
How was it?
Bad. It was a weird thing to go back to high school, or it felt like very much like going back to a place that you once spent so much time and meant a lot to you, and then you felt weird and not unwelcome, but like it just felt
No, I got you.
I had a couple drinks, Wags, and I still went home and ate like my diet meal because I'm having meals delivered to me.
Well, God bless you. Good for you. And Mitch, we have a great guest, as you mentioned. You also have a drop, I imagine.
Emma, hit him with the drop, the Munch Madness drop. Uh-oh, hopefully we have one. She's always on top of course.
I heard it once on the dough score that Weiger fucked an apple core, but you don't really listen to podcasts, do ya? The Quincy boys were on their shit, Jankston, Dano, Wu-Tang Flip, Mr. Slice,
Allah fucking Lula. Lula. Ale fucking Lula. Hallelujah. God, how embarrassing that ended. That was the runner-up. If that sounded good, it makes sense because it's from Seagulls.
Wow, Seagulls.
Mm-hmm.
The music artist.
Mm-hmm. Hey, DK and Mitch. Here's a drop of Mitch opening up SNL after Trump was elected. Love Seagulls. I should just pronounce hallelujah. I did it.
You did it.
There we go. I was going to say like Medea. Hallelujah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wouldn't have to worry about that other stuff.
Right.
But I got it right when I wasn't thinking about it. Hallelujah. Not going to try again.
So we have one drop. Like, we still have the winner of the drop-off yet to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we playing all these? I thought we were doing 1 month of this.
I thought it was.
We got like 4 runners up now?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. They're all good drops.
I just saw the email too. Emma saw the email. There was an explanation in there. It's fine.
All right, it's fine.
DK, you fucked up. It's fine.
It's fine, but DK 100% fucked. Mitch, we have a fantastic guest with us to kick off the Tournament of Champions.
Let's turn this
comedian.
podcast funny, for God's sakes.
It's not the Doughboys way, but it's going to happen today because he's from Happy Endings and 101 Places to Party Before You Die. His new movie, Who Invited Charlie, is available on demand right now. Adam Pally. Hi, Adam.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for making time for us.
Oh, please, no, I love doing this show, and I'm so grateful that you guys have me on.
We're very excited to have you here.
For people listening and not watching the video feed, Pally wearing sunglasses in studio, very alpha.
Is it alpha?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am slightly hungover, and this is the first thing. You're the first people I've talked to today.
Got it.
And so the lights, it was like when I walked in, I was like, this is a good excuse to keep these on.
Yeah.
You know, like.
yeah,
It works for you.
and also we wouldn't be able to pull it off. I mean, I think it's also helpful with the lights, but I just think that Nick and I couldn't pull that look off.
Do you have sunglasses with you?
I wouldn't mind if we were all in sunglasses.
I have a pair. Wait, I can put some on.
I'd borrow someone's here, but I
didn't, Nick. I for sure didn't mean for it to be alpha. I mean, you know me. I'm actually more of a beta. I'm a beta with an alpha rising.
I put on my sunglasses. I forget which brand these are. These are Gooders.
Those
I think
are
this is
cool.
Gabrus recommendation. Thank you.
Those are cool as hell.
Thank
I
you.
might
If
have
they're
some in my car.
a Gabrus sunglass recommendation, you know it's going to be on point.
Yeah.
I don't want to borrow anyone's because I'm going to stretch out the. I'm going to stretch them out.
Not mine, but not mine.
So
You're fine here. My head is bigger, or if not, the same size.
No, God. I have a squash head. Weiger makes fun of it all the time.
What
Yeah,
size
but-
fitted hat do you wear?
I think it's. I don't know. I don't even.
What's the largest? It's the largest.
You're past 8. He's past 8.
I'm
No
8.5.
way. You're 8.5.
Yeah.
Never mind. Take it back. Okay. Holy shit. Fucking Trek over here.
Shrek actually has a smaller hat size.
Does he?
Yeah.
But what about those things?
Yeah, no, it's still.
Oh,
even
it
still,
sits on top.
no, they go in, and it's still below 8.5.
Your head is big enough. This really should be an alt-right podcast. Like,
I have a huge head.
Yeah,
I've had
yeah.
one. I was a C-section baby.
Me
So-
too.
Were you really?
wow.
Yeah. My mom held me in, and because she didn't want me to be born on St. Patrick's Day, because she was like, it's just not gonna be good. You're gonna lose all that, and you get older, then it'll be like a thing. And when you're younger, it's like you're not gonna have the attention. So she like kept me in, and then they came and they're like, actually, it's the baby's breech. They were like, oh, we're going in.
So are you
wild.
St. Patrick's Day, your birthday?
No, March 18th, like
Wow, she did it.
12:35 in the morning.
Wow.
She pulled it off.
Pulled it off, yeah.
I mean, also probably good in the way of like, I don't want my child to like drink themselves to death.
Yeah, no, she probably saved my life a couple times.
Well, this was an issue for you, Mitch, in Boston. Like, they didn't want you to be born on Martin Luther King Day, right?
Jesus Christ.
Coming out hit it hard. This is a roasting. Am I Jeffrey Ross? Did I
He's back. He's roasting
He's
Mr.
back.
Peanut.
Yeah, he does too.
I like it when you see pictures of his Instagram and there's a line of like 30 people like waiting for him to walk down and roast.
Pally, I'm curious because
Yes, my mom held me in from Martin Luther King Day till October 6th. Wow.
marathon. Pally, last time we had you on, we were talking about Burger King, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
And, you know, we've talked about, I know you're a guy who likes to indulge, but I'm curious about your healthy eating habits.
No.
What's your approach towards it?
I try to eat healthy, especially like we've all gotten a little older, and I'm similarly like yo-yo pretty frequently due to work. So like
Right.
like for this last movie that I did, I was about 40 pounds heavier, and it like when we were done with the movie, like I got cast, I was already 40 pounds heavier. So then the movie ended, and I was like, now what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, so
Because
then
you're coming out of the movie weighing more no matter what.
what.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're like, oh man, now. So then I had time, so I was like, I'll start eating healthy, and I've developed kind of like better eating habits, and I've cut probably like maybe half of that off.
Wow.
So, like,
All right.
That's
pretty
really
good.
good.
Yeah,
Substantial.
Where did the movie film?
the Hamptons
All right. You got
Cool.
some
and New York.
good
We had a
food
week
there,
in New
but-
York City,
Yeah.
which was. I mean, first of all, the way that the movie came about was that I was gaining weight to do this other movie with the producer, and I had like gained all the weight plus a little more, and then the pandemic hit, so that movie went away, and so I was walking around in the
Jesus.
beginning of the pandemic, just like really depressed, like
Man.
no job, freaked out about the pandemic, and I had just changed my appearance like pretty drastically. So I was like,
Because like you saw, like there were people like at the end of the pandemic, like, oh, you're pretty chunky, but hey, it happened to us all.
right, no,
But
this
like
is,
week one of the pandemic,
week
you're,
one, I
yeah.
was like already ahead of everybody. So then I gained even more weight, and I was like almost starting to come out of it. Like almost, I think this movie started filming in the November. If the pandemic started in March, this movie filmed that following November. So I was like coming out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't change your appearance. I actually am doing this other movie, and it's good, and I think you would be good for it. So I read it, and I was like, honestly, only got past the description, which was like, you know, heavier guy. And I was like, that seems like I don't have to do much more work. So like, I'll do it. And then I did it, and I shot it, and I was like, after it was done, I was like, I think I need to like make some life choices, because I was like, to get to that weight, I was doing bagel, pizza, Chinese food every day.
Yeah.
In between that, milkshake in the morning, milkshake at dinner. It's like and drinking.
Yeah.
And drinking.
Wow.
Keeping my drinking habit.
Was that like
yeah.
great or
No.
No.
It was great for a day.
Got
like
it.
Maybe two. But then
That's actually what my diet plan is right now. Because I've cut back to that.
Yeah. You've cut back to 3 milkshakes a day.
3 milkshakes.
So okay, so you're generally trying to eat healthier. Do you have like any go-to spots, or do you have like okay, I'm targeting bowls, I'm targeting wraps, I'm
Yes.
targeting salads?
Actually, that's why I was so excited when you guys texted me, because I was like, in my new like kind of, it's been going on for about, I guess, 8 months.
Mhm.
Sweetgreens is a huge part of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one near my house
Mhm.
in New York, and I like have managed to find a bowl that is
Works for you?
that I've customized to my own things, that is probably more calories than like 4 slices of pizza. But it makes me feel like if I eat this during the day, if I just don't like fuck up during the day, if I just keep
Yes.
my shit together and have this salad whenever I get around to eating, that's like better than anything else I was gonna do.
I like the trifecta of sort of like healthiest chains that I find myself rotating through and hitting up each about twice a month. Or Tender Greens, Sweetgreen, and then Mendocino Farms, which I'm not sure if it's made its way to New York City.
No, but I know I you know, lived here a long time. Like
Yeah.
Mendocino Farms is a staple. I truthfully am such a creature of habit that I've sampled almost all of these type of healthy chains. Now I think I have after this day, have done them all. And Sweetgreen's, the combination I found was just like, it worked for me, and I pretty much get it every day.
Is this, and not to get ahead of things, is it the bowl you got for this episode?
100%.
Wow.
Okay.
That's going to be helpful because Nick and I are Sweetgreen skeptics, I would say.
Well, you know what? I checked the tape, Mitch, and I was going to get to this later, but we actually were higher on Sweetgreen than I thought.
Last time
we reviewed it twice. We reviewed it first time in 2016 with Siobhan Thompson. It was in the Golden Plate Club, 4 Forks all around. And last reviewed in September 22 with Emmy Blotnick. And it did get booted out of the club, but it still had a decent fork score from each of us. It was over 3 forks.
Well, we'll get to it. I'm going to say this. As an actor, to go back to that a little bit, you've probably been, because this has happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you too, where it's like, called in, and when I don't know how often you go in. I mean, no one goes in anymore.
No.
But back
For
in
an
the
audition.
day, when you were going for an audition,
Yeah.
and it would be a big guy. Like, there's been times where I went in and I've been like, all right, I'm like slightly insulted that I got called in for this audition, because it would be like gigantic. It would be gigantic people. I mean, like, that's fine. I don't care. But
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, and then there are other times where they go in and be like, you're going in for handsome guy. I'm like, I'm not gonna. And I go in and like I auditioned after like Jesse McCartney once, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm a giant.
You're like, he's great.
He's great.
How am I going to get this if Jesse McCartney's going? No, I of course I feel the same way. I mean, like, I've had a horror story. I mean, one of my first jobs as an actor, I was like 23, and I booked a commercial in New York. It was like the biggest deal, and it was to play the physical embodiment of the word sloth.
Wow.
In a Verizon commercial. Like the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
It's like a play on the movie Seven.
Yeah.
So they were casting all the sins. And first I got sent in for it, and I was like, I think I'm really more greed, no? They were like, no, pal. You're sloth. And then I got it. I booked it. And it was like, you know, what are you going to do? And like, I remember the audition, I had to take my shirt off and jump up and down. It was like,
that's wild.
And then I guess they watched the tape and was like, what's the funniest looking jump up and down? And I got it. I booked it. But it was like,
was it insulting that that's also how we screen Doughboys guests? Is that
the physical embodiment?
we make you take your shirt off and jump up and down before each?
Oh, I thought that was voluntary. I thought those videos I sent you didn't want them?
Oh, no, we did.
No, we did. We wanted them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. I misunderstood what you guys were saying.
I
don't open the next one.
I feel like I've run where there's like little guys, and you know you're not gonna get the little guy thing. That Jessica McCartney thing was for that audition where the guy said he was gonna claw his eyes out. By the way, I auditioned for a movie. It's what's his name who did Sideways? I should remember his name.
Yeah. Alexander
Payne.
Yeah.
And then it was the one. You know who was in it? Was Rob Hubel was in it.
Oh yeah.
The Descendants.
The Descendants. Yeah.
Good movie.
This is a good movie. I went in an audition for it, and they were like, the guy talked to me. He's like, "Do you know what the character is?" And I was like, "Is it this and this?" And he's like, "No, but let's see what you got." And I was like, "All right." And I did it, and I was like, "How was that?" And he was like, "To be honest with you, I wanted to claw my eyes out."
What a fucking prick.
Yeah.
So fucking
Alexander Payne said
degrading.
that?
No, it wasn't Payne. It was the casting.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to be like,
No.
That's awful.
Yeah, he was like, "I want to claw my eyes out." And I was like, "Okay." And then he like told me he told me I was like pretty wooden and stuff, and I was also kind of green at this point, and I was like, all right. Like, and then I was just, I did it again, and he was like, better after I did it. But then Weiger knows this. I did a UCB show, and a guy came up to me and was like, "You got to meet like my boss. He's a casting director." And then he's like, "How do I not know you?" And he forgot who I was, and he liked me in the show, and he was like, we'll reach out to your manager. We want to have you come in and read. And then they never did.
Yeah.
They might maybe remembered who I was.
I mean,
but
yeah, that showbiz is filled with horrible.
it was a really embarrassing moment in my life.
Yeah, it sounds like trauma.
Yeah.
The first ever writing packet I submitted was for the last season of Mad TV. And
Wow.
I ended up thinking this was standard practice, and then I realized it never happens. But the showrunner called me personally, and he's just like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I read your packet, and we're not going to hire you."
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Oh my god, I just talked about this with Seth Meyers. I in like 2004, I guess.
Yeah.
Just from I was doing ASCAT a lot and stuff, and Seth would show up sometimes, and so he's like, "Hey, we would love for you to make a tape," you know. And I was like such a young. I mean, you guys were in LA and I was in New York,
Right.
but it was like I was a like punk. Like my whole thing was like, you know, I'm gonna challenge the audience. I'm gonna bomb on purpose. Like I'm gonna do bits that are like really long. Like
We bombed on purpose.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I still
it was
do.
totally
I still do.
intentional.
Yeah. No, you guys never. I remember you guys being like professionals. Like it always felt like when you guys it would be like, oh, that's how you do it good. And and so I was like, I know what I'll do to make this tape and like cut through the noise. I'll do like a conceptual tape. So I went to this thing called the Staten Island Comedy Show, which is a thing that Gemberling and I used to watch and Curtis Gwynn, everybody. And it was a local access comedy show run by these two men in their mid to late 50s who had clearly been in car accidents and are now like had life changes and left their jobs and families to be like comics.
No.
And it was so horrible. And one played the drums and would do rim shots, and the other would do like stand up. And we loved it. We would watch it nonstop. And it would be like, you know, they would do like Confucius Say jokes. It would be like horrible. It was like horrible,
Yeah.
you know?
We edit a lot of my Confucius Say jokes out of the show.
Good. But it was like, you know, it was the type of thing where we would like watch it endlessly. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on that show and do my SNL audition. So I went there.
Didn't you? Was there not a part of you that wanted it? Or
I did want it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
like,
All
and
right.
this is
that's
the thing.
good. I mean, I get that. That's
And this
great.
is the thing that like I was like trying to tell Seth later was like, I did want it because that was in question because anyway, went there, made the tape. It went horribly, just like I wanted it to. Like my characters were terrible. No one laughed. They were doing rim shots after a character would bomb. Like it was like chef's
Wow.
kiss perfect, awkward. And I sent it in and like never didn't hear anything. I didn't even have a manager. And then like a couple weeks later, Seth's doing ASCAT and he was like, "Hey, what was with that tape?"
That's such a nightmare in my head.
Oh my god,
Like,
it was like you can imagine. So like I'm like 25, the blood just like exits my face.
Yeah.
Because I was not trying to not get it. I was trying to fucking get it.
Yeah.
To like fucking get it. Like as hard as I could. And I was like, what? He's like, what am I supposed to like? I can't. Thank you. He was like, thank you for sending that in, but we're gonna move on.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, all right. And then I found out a couple of years later that it like they watched it and everyone would watch it and be like, look how horrible this is.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God.
look what he was trying to do. And like
What were you trying to do? That is fun.
That is funny. It sounds funny the way you're saying
it was. And like as Gemberling is my witness, it went the way I thought it would.
Former guest of the show, we love Gemberling.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than me earnestly doing Al Frankenstein.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I did the Adam Duritz political talk show.
Wow.
That's good. I like
That is good.
Hey, you want to know how it went? I would be like, I didn't even do an intro. I just went, this is Adam Duritz doing a political talk show. And then I handed the mic to one of the Headgum guys. And I was like, say something political. So say something political.
I think that taxes should be lowered.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
That is funny.
That's it. That was the whole thing. And as you can imagine, like the 4 people in the audience were like, and they would cut to the audience, like
not knowing that he's the Counting Crows guy, like
not even knowing what I was saying. And
Right.
they would cut to it was like so perfect. They cut to the audience. The audience would be like, and then they'd cut to the host, and the host would be like, whoa, all right. And then you'd hear like a rim shot, and then they'd cut back to me, and I'd be like, this is Matthew McConaughey ordering a burrito. It's like pitch perfect. what I thought.
Yes, yeah.
I like that.
But
Sounds good.
But at the time, and I'm making it sound better than it was executed, but it did not. It was like a lesson in like, why? Just do it. Just like, why would I? And I was because I was insecure because I knew I wasn't ready, and I knew that my shit was like weak, and like I was like, well, maybe I'll like conceptualize it. It's like that's not talent. That's like not. I wouldn't have been good. It was not right.
I knew my shit was weak, and then also like I look back at like those like my packets that I would send into SNL and stuff like that, and I'm like, I still try to use some of that stuff.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I just did it now. It's like fucking pull that shit out if I'm on a podcast. Yeah.
By the way, bitch, I could not think of Redditors complaining about when you were asked to say something political, your mind went to lower taxes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just going to be such like a fucking
Are you guys
whiny post.
Do you guys
about
ever
that.
feel handcuffed by the Redditors?
100%, yeah.
You do.
'Cause
What's
it's
wrong
just
with
like,
saying that? What was wrong with that? I was trying to say something.
Mitch is a 1%er who thinks that taxes are too high because he has a house with stairs in
Oh my
it.
god!
It's just going to be such like that, like,
He could have said something about the environment or about
But he was playing a character.
abortion.
Let's say
Yeah.
he was playing a character from the opposite perspective.
yeah, well, there you go. That would be some justification.
There we go.
That's a bit of nuance that I think is not going to be
Not
processed by Darth
the-
_cum on the fucking Doughboys subreddit.
But
I want taxes lowered
Yeah.
for everybody, including Elon Musk. I think all those guys.
anybody that's invested in Tesla who thinks that now's a good time to buy.
Adam, we have a lot of business to get to because this is our dumb tournament episode. Before we do that, I have 2 disputes that are ongoing with the podcast, and I want to get your perspective on both of them. The first one, and Susser and Mitch are on opposite sides of this. I am kind of a neutral party here, but in
this
your
is big.
in your
I
opinion,
like this.
does matzo ball soup include chicken by default?
No.
No. Strong vote for no.
No,
Wow.
it does not.
Wow.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
Yes. And I'll tell you why.
Please.
Matzo ball soup is traditionally, now it's served year round, right?
Mhm.
Especially in like Jewish delis or what you have now,
Sure.
which is like the nouveau faux Jewish deli. It's like,
Yeah.
and so chicken gets put into it to make it become more of a soup than it actually is, because matzo ball soup by tradition is an appetizer for the Passover Seder. It's a course. It's light on the broth, 1 ball, unless you're a child, and then you move on to the eggs. And so I would say that chicken in it is like a Western European edition.
Fascinating. It
I
sounds
love
like
this.
the
This
way
is huge for me.
yeah, your description of it being like kind of a broth. It reminds me of like miso soup.
Yes.
At like a Japanese restaurant.
It is
okay.
meat, and that's why
Got
there was a restaurant in Williamsburg that I loved. I think it might still be there. That was like a Jewish Japanese fusion, and they would do a miso matzo ball soup that was
sounds
like
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
I've
all right.
gotten like messages about this. Didn't we get a message from someone too? Or we someone else was saying that there is no chicken in it. But I went to the Deli Boys. I brought this up.
Yes.
And the Deli
David
Boys
Phillips
made
and
me
Evan
feel
Susser.
Evan Susser and David Phillips. They do a podcast about Jewish delis.
Mm.
They made me feel like a complete fool because I said I think that the baseline is no chicken, and they were like, no, it just depends. And I was like, but I think it's like so
Well,
often you see you add chicken. You know what I mean? Like,
Adding chicken is first of all, Jews didn't have enough money for chicken.
Mm.
So
Well, hold on.
even-
According to Joe Rogan,
well, yeah, sure.
we
Right,
talked about
right.
this before the
This
podcast
new
started.
history, right? I'm sorry. When we landed here from our planet with all the money in the world, once we had the weather laser installed, when Jews came to America, there was no money. We were extremely poor. We couldn't afford poultry, and add on top of that, Passover, which is matzo balls traditionally were made for children because during Passover, when you're not allowed to eat leavened bread, children don't want to eat matzah.
Right.
No one wants to eat matzah. So you had to come up with ways to feed it to people. And one of the ways was to grind it into a meal, mix it with an egg, and bake it, serve it in a soup. And so the idea that you could have bits of chicken, sure, if you were a wealthy family and there was poultry around, maybe you'd throw that in your broth, especially the bone. But most likely that meat was getting served to the family.
Wow.
And that's and it's like, to me, I was saying like adding pepperoni to a pizza or something.
Sure,
like that.
yeah, I think that's a pretty good analogy. Like, and especially when it starts, you hit America,
Right.
and then things start to blow up in the Second Avenue Deli and Langer's, and it's like people are coming, and it's like, how can I serve this as a meal? And it's like, add some chicken broth in there, put the fucking chicken. It's like, now matzo ball soup is something bigger. I once got served a matzo ball soup at a Nouveau Deli in New York City on the Lower East Side, and it came with a cracker.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the dumbest, like,
They
the
overthought
whole
it.
point.
They
It came with like
overthought
a
it.
fancy, like, French baguette cracker.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, the whole point of matzo ball soup is no bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
they overthought it. They fucked up.
unleavened. Yeah.
Or maybe underthought it. I don't
know.
what
Or
that
they
is.
just was like, didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And that's to me sometimes when I get like a too much chicken and vegetabled matzo ball soup.
I was going wild because I had a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Alex. I was going wild on Cantor's matzo ball soup, and you know what?
Right.
I was having a blast.
Cantor's does it good.
It was great.
Yeah, they have a good matzo ball soup. I actually haven't tried some of there's like a bunch of new delis, right? Like,
A bunch of them, yeah.
There's a bunch of new deli. There, like you were saying, kind of these new wave delis, and it sucks because LA was a great deli city.
One of the best.
and it's they've been hurting. I feel like Factor's closed.
Yeah,
which
that
a lot of
sucks.
on the west side, and this was it wasn't the best deli, but I liked it because it was one of the few places on the west side that was open 24 hours. Izzy's, I believe, is just closed.
Izzy's
for
is-
good.
No, really?
Izzy's is closed
Yeah.
too.
You know, and I also like the bummer with that for me is I do love Jewish food. Like, I love matzah brai.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is a very specific Jewish dish, which like you can't get anymore in there's only a couple places in New York, and like Nate Now's I think is the only place out here that you can still get matzah brai. And like,
Hey, now's almost shut down too.
I know someone came in, a ghost investor,
Yeah, it's wild.
George Soros.
All right,
Greenblatt's too by
Yeah.
that they
I
shut
can't
down.
believe that they had great matzo ball soup.
I think that was low key one of the best delis. I loved that.
Loved
place.
sitting at Greenblatt's. Yeah.
To think about all the Laugh
comic.
Factory comics.
Think of
coming
all
in
the
there.
comics that had just committed some horrible.
Joe Rogan's coming in after.
Think of all the crimes that have been just washed away in that deli.
Pal, you mentioned Passover. I have one more holiday-related question for you.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, is Christmas a cookie holiday?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
You got to leave cookies out for Santa.
True.
And so that
That's what
lore,
we thought too.
that lore alone
Yeah.
is more than any other holiday to me I could think of where cookies are served.
Wow.
Great point.
Well, another data point for Christmas being a cookie holiday and matzo ball soup, not including chicken by default. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Munch Madness 2023, the Tournament of Chompions.
Here we go.
Bowl. Welcome back to Doughboys. We're here for Munch Madness 2023, the Tournament of Champions Bowl. We're talking about bowl places, and this week it's the work lunch region with Adam Pally, Cava versus Sweetgreen. Interestingly, Mitch, this is an all caps versus all lowercase battle.
Wow.
Cava is all caps. Sweetgreen is all lowercase. Cava, we last reviewed in September of 2019 with Jamel Bowie and Carl Tart. Mitch, you were the high man with 3.75 forks. We kind of middling reviews there. And Sweetgreen,
I remember
we
that
already
because
talked
I
about.
I thought everyone would go higher than me. I believe.
Yeah, but I think everyone was like, it's fine, And I think that's a lot of people's take on both of these chains and kind of just about all of the chains that we're going to be surveying this month. But, since this is the first tournament episode, we have to welcome in the commissioner of the Tournament of Chompions, Evan Susser. He is playing No Chance, Vincent McMahon's.
No, he's not. He's changed it. He no longer is using Vince McMahon's music.
Wow, he's not?
You don't think that
I
would have
didn't
been
think it was
better if you
appropriate.
had the music from the?
No, it's good from the phone. I
You
appreciate
think it's
it.
good? You think it's good from the phone?
He's playing MJF's music.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just assumed it was No Chance.
Well, I didn't think it was very appropriate.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
was Vince McMahon's music, so
Yeah.
I changed it.
I think you should go back to Vince McMahon's music, personally. It's
MJF
good.
more of a heel than a commissioner.
Truthfully, if you play it off the phone, it won't matter.
Hello. And
Hello.
welcome to the Tournament of
All right.
Champions,
Hi, Susser.
Munch Madness 2023 Bowl.
Wow.
I'm going to make a brief statement, after which I'll take some questions.
Okay, great.
1 month ago,
Mhm.
the official Munch Madness Steering Committee met to decide the participants of the tournament. There was also another assignment for the committee, agreeing to the tournament rules.
Mm.
Here are the rules as agreed to by the committee.
Wow.
Salad ain't valid. Bowl is the goal.
Wow.
So no salads in this tournament.
Hopefully we told you these rules. We didn't.
I have a question about on this stuff. We'll
I didn't
follow.
know. No one even.
No, it's fine. Everything's
Brought
fine.
this to my
We're
attention.
learning this in real time.
Chili is silly,
Mm.
and silly is not allowed. So chili is not considered.
All
Yeah,
right.
despite it being a bowl tournament, if we just had a bowl of chili, that's not really what
Got it.
the spirit of it. Got it.
So there's no soup either.
Stew won't do.
Oh, okay.
Bowl viscosity must be stew level at minimum. We want goop, not soup.
Got it.
Okay.
Must be stew level at minimum. But stew won't do.
Maybe greater than stew.
Greater
I don't know if
than
you're
stew
taking
is
notes.
maybe the wording.
Stew won't do.
It's good that you're
Bowl
wearing
viscosity.
sunglasses so you can fall asleep, by the way, Adam. It's perfect time to get a 20-minute nap or so.
Exactly what I was doing. I was like, I am looking at that iPad. There's about 50 more rhymes on there. So I'm just gonna lean into my Ray-Bans.
When it comes to
and
strikes,
you tap me when he's
this
done.
one's not a rhyme, but it's very clever. When it comes to strikes, we're at the bowling alley, not the batter's box.
Wow.
Wow.
That's right.
It's odd.
Strikes aren't bad; they're good.
Wow.
Okay.
It's odd to switch from rhymes to that midway.
3 strikes, and you're in.
Wow.
Okay.
It hasn't been determined yet what a strike is or what that means.
Or what that means.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
We'll figure it out.
I leave that for you guys to decide. Drinks are in the gutter. Sides.
Why
are-
did we go to bowling? When,
It's
because of the
bowl.
bowl,
It's bowl, yeah.
Like bowling.
Bowl.
right? But we started rhyming, and now we're just doing words that have 2 meanings.
I think it's just kind of a riff on bowl.
Yeah.
So it's
thematically.
anything with bowl goes in this.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to a rhyme if you that
Okay,
makes
great.
you feel better.
No, I figured we would.
Drinks are in the gutter. Sides are also in the gutter. You can't.
Just rhyme
Right.
gutter with gutter. If that's the rhyme, then I didn't expect it.
You can't consider drinks or sides.
Right. It's
Got
just
it.
bowls.
Why is that though? Can I ask a question? Because in both of these places, they're pretty crucial. Not just as someone who frequents one and I guess I've been to the other now. The in both places, people tend to walk out with 2 things,
They
Did
do have their
you-
nice iced teas and like frescas at both. of
and
these
especially at
locations.
Sweetgreens now, they have a treat.
Did
a
people
dessert
hear at the
treat.
start of the statement I said I would take questions at the end?
Oh,
Okay,
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
I didn't hear that. I guess I was preoccupied with what was going to rhyme with question.
Cookies are ookie. Thank you, Adam.
Very good.
Okay. But are they also Christmassy? Cookies may not be considered, but every episode must ask the question, is Christmas a cookie holiday?
Okay, we can check that one off the list.
Okay, great.
And when it comes to bread, there's more that will be said.
Wow.
Little teaser.
Wow.
That concludes the official list of rules for the Tournament to Chompions Munch Madness 2023 Bowl. I will now open the floor to questions.
I just first want to give a little bit of context for for people listening to the audio feed. Susser did show up in a full suit.
Yes.
Actually, a tuxedo.
It's a tuxedo,
Yeah.
but
I
you got
thought-
you have a standard tie,
Yes,
not a bow
standard
tie.
tie.
Got it.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
rent it?
No, it's a tuxedo I wore to my wedding.
Oh, that's
Wow.
That's even worse of an answer.
Thus, I'm proud of you that it fits. It still fits very
It
nicely.
fits well.
Thank
yeah,
you,
look
thank
really
you.
nice.
Yeah.
You're a
$1 million
handsome
bucks.
groom.
Oh, thank you. See, now we're on a good. Now things are good.
Yeah, life is not just one thing.
Are there any serious questions about?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll start with the sides and drinks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think both places would hang their hat on them. So I think it's unfair. And I
It's a
think
good point.
going forward, a lot of the places that I'm assuming you're visiting feel the same. So I feel like it would be unfair to not have that factor into your meal.
To the commissioner's defense, if we're going by
I'm
how
kind
we've
of
done,
on it. I'm kind of on Pally's side here, by the way.
yes, but I'm just gonna say that like if we're going by tournaments past,
Mm-hmm.
we've generally said sides are on the sidelines, drinks are in the stink. So this is following that pattern that.
So wouldn't it be fun to switch it up?
I've made.
Well, I mean, we've already eaten there.
Yeah,
at this
and
point,
Jackie
so.
Robinson used to not be allowed to play in the bid.
I'd like to make an update to my statement.
Please.
Considering the fact that I'm intimidated by the sunglasses that Adam's wearing, and also that's a good point about Jackie Robinson. Drinks are now out of the gutter,
Wow.
and sides are also out of the gutter.
Wow.
So they can be considered now.
Wow. That
That's-
does not
I-
affect my particular matchup
No,
today.
it doesn't
but-
affect me today, but
Yeah.
I think it will going forward for you guys.
It's very funny because when we said you looked cool when you came in with the sunglasses, and then Nick said you looked alpha, and you're like alpha, and I was like, I said cool, but you completely alpha'd Susser. Susser is you
Yeah.
alpha'd the you.
Well, I didn't appreciate the being rhymed to. It always feels like someone is trying to make me do something when they rhyme to me. You know, like I guess I was like lied to. Like I guess in some other life they were like, "Und don't be sus, get on the bus." You know, I'm like,
Sure. I should have been more compassionate to that concern.
I feel your pain. Get on the train.
And you know what? I enjoyed the rhymes.
Mitch,
Although
do you want to riff on that area?
no, I'll hand it to you guys. I want to say, Sus, I enjoy the rhymes, though. I think there was maybe one successful rhyme in there. But I also want to say that I commend you for earlier today, we were like, lunch is coming, and Sus put in an order for it. And I was like, you know, it's going to come at like 2 p.m. And you said, that's okay. You decided to stick around Headgum for now, probably close to an hour to wait for lunch. Are you going to stick it? Are you going to wait through for lunch?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
That's good. And speaking of which, this is honestly, do you want something?
No, I'm okay.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
From Sweetgreen?
I'm going to go to Sweetgreens.
Casey, do you want anything?
I think Anya took an order
Okay,
for
great.
us. Yeah.
All right, good. That's all settled. Well, hey, I'm gonna keep that all in the episode.
You got it.
Guys,
I have another question.
Yeah.
Are you factoring in silverware, containers, and seating?
This is a great question because I actually had an experience at one of these chains where I did not get a bowl due to supply chain
Me
issues.
too. I say I had a bad
I had a
experience at
box.
both.
Yeah.
I had a bad experience at both, and I was going to factor that in. And I do think silverware is something that should be. I mean, it's essential to eating a bowl. If you didn't, it's not like you're eating it with your hands.
Right. And there was a time the NBA didn't have a 3-point line.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's true. I'll off air. I'll tell you the reasons why it wasn't.
Okay. So yes, I think they have to be considered, and they should be considered.
All right, cool.
Wow. Okay. So
All
that'll
right, wow.
factor into our ultimate
Wow,
decision.
I love it.
Susser, any other thoughts?
No, that's it. I look forward to the tournament, and I will try and be as non-intrusive as possible this year. I want a good, clean tournament. And good luck, guys.
You've been
Thank you,
you've been
Sus.
great. You've been very helpful as always. And
We love you.
And we have
That was
another.
awesome. Thank
We've
you.
talked about matzo ball soup
Thank you, Adam.
yet again. So we're gonna continue this discussion with other guests.
Great.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
But
gonna leave
Pally
now,
disagreed with
very
you. Just so
awkwardly.
you know,
Well,
it's pretty strongly about
okay.
chicken
Again,
not being in by
talk
default.
about it Off air.
I mean, you weren't in here, but he was just basically came down.
I
hard
think
on
your
it.
phone is ringing.
Got it. Evan Susser.
Wow,
All right.
the commissioner, Evan Susser. Wow, Wags.
Let's talk about.
Is the music still going?
I think it is. Yeah.
I think his phone is just ringing.
Let's start with Cava. I would say that I've definitely had Sweetgreen more than Cava, but I have had my share of Cava over the years. Pally, this chain was new to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Do they not have those in New York?
They might not. They might not
Interesting.
have.
I know they're in
been these.
DC.
Yeah. This was my first experience with Cava. Which also I will say, like, I made a mistake, which is my fault, which I will like factor into my judging, which is I went custom first time. I probably should have. I feel like I should have gone with one of the trusted specialties to get a hint of the place.
There's
instead
not a
of-
ton of. There's not
That's
a
the thing,
ton.
yeah.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of make your own, but that's why I went that way. But I still feel after because they like right away they go to dips. And that's something I'm not used to is the offer of like what dip you want.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know
Goop,
if
they're basically adding goop.
Yeah, I didn't
to
know
the-
if I wanted like a goop of hummus in my lettuce and rice, you
Yeah.
know? So I was intimidated and I don't think I made all the best choices.
It's the app, and I will say that and I know you love rhymes, Adam. The app's not crap. I have had an issue with like it's very easy to assemble things, but it very much drives you towards customization. They're not
Yes.
trying to say like take one of these prefabs ones. They're saying like what base do you want? Do you want
Right.
greens? Do you want rice? Do you want lentils? And then yes, the next thing you have to decide is what of 3 dips do you put on this thing before you've even picked, your protein and what have you.
Also, I just
So
want
it
to
is
put
a
it
lot
out
of
there. I
work.
wasn't afraid to make one of those rhymes like Sus was implying. I would have made one of those rhymes for sure. But there wasn't time.
Right, sure.
I don't eat a ton of Cava either.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've only eaten it I think only for Doughboys is the only
That's
time I've eaten.
wild.
I mean, there's none nearby here.
Yeah, I went to Pasadena.
Okay, I can walk to one.
Yeah.
But I'm on the west side, so it's a little different.
Also, apologies.
yeah, sorry about
Just
that.
hearing how you went to Pasadena.
That's
so
a pain in the
we're
ass.
sorry.
Oh, no. Honestly, it was like I had never been to that place and it was a nice experience. I mean, I don't think I'll ever go back. Like,
Interesting.
There were a couple things that like really turned me off early on and then continued throughout the whole experience. So I think I'll stick with Sweetgreens.
Yeah.
Yes,
But-
this is the funny thing I think with a lot of these places is like I'm never. Maybe there's one. I mean, Mendocino Farms, who's not in the tournament, that's like a place, and they're not really. I don't really think of bowls.
Not a
No,
bowl
I think of
place.
salads and honestly sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
100%.
Like
no.
I don't even really think of like if you hear someone got Mendocino Farms, you're like, I hope I got the sandwiches.
Yeah, and I that's a one that I would go out of my way for. Like Sweetgreens is to me it's like the healthy Subway.
Yeah.
It's like people eat Subway because it's on every corner and it's there. Like Sweetgreens, it's in your neighborhood, it's a healthy option. You're like, I'm gonna go get some fucking Sweetgreens bowl or
Yeah.
salad.
You keep
Yeah.
pluralizing it. It is just sweet green singular.
It is
Tender greens is plural. Sweet green is singular.
Sweet
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm just saying.
The Reddit.
Oh God.
I think Nick is actually like an insider in the Reddit who like has a bunch of burner names and goes on there and is like, did anyone else hear Mitch do this bullshit today?
Allie,
I
this
wish.
would make too much sense to me. It already is making too much sense to me. I'm getting upset.
Now I think I should do it because it would be good for the show when that was revealed.
Mitch is a fucking idiot. I mean, they
Like,
post
on
stuff like that
everything.
all the time.
Of course, and I bet it's like from all these different burner accounts. Like,
It's that sort of thing where they're like, things could be different if like Mitch wasn't so lazy. Like they always say that.
You could tell Mitch was like 20 minutes late because he had to take a shit.
Yeah.
All right, that one might be true today.
Don't worry, you had the right guess.
That one might be true today. Pally already knew it when I apologized for it.
And I'm totally chill with it. I was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like it. You wouldn't be you.
I went to I got mine Cava to go. And I got a greens plus grains bowl, which is 50-50, one of their blends of greens and then some, starch of your choice. I went splendid greens and saffron basmati rice. My 3 dips, I went tzatziki, crazy feta, and roasted eggplant. I got falafel as my protein.
I just want to say that there's nowhere do they even imply that it's supposed to be crazy feta?
They call it crazy feta.
Yeah, they do call it.
But I'm saying, did they imply that you're supposed to say it that way?
I was just saying it like crazy taxi.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh, that's what that was. Crazy
Which I
taxi
didn't have
reference.
to do. I mean, I don't know. That was fun.
It was fun.
No, it's fine.
I gave you, look, I was late and I gave you Callisto Protocol today.
That's true.
Anytime I'm
very
late,
nice
I'm
of
going to
you.
give you a video game.
It could have been worse. You could have been wearing a tuxedo.
Kalamata olives, pickled onions, lentil tabbouleh, Persian cucumber, hot harissa vinaigrette, and then we talked about this condiment, I believe, last week with John Hodgman, Mitch, and we were unsure how to pronounce it. Zhug. I looked it up. Zhug is the spicy green sauce.
Yes. And I was saying something that was like an alt-right term, accidentally. Which
Accidentally.
I was saying maybe, I don't know what that was, Zog or something. That's like that's.
Well, you don't need to try to repeat it.
I don't have to try to repeat it. Zug, big fan of Zug.
I like Zhug. Give me that Zhug. And I'll also say the side pita that I asked for was not included, which was an issue. I wanted to do bread versus bread for each of these chains, but I did
what
not
was the name of this bowl again?
I just made a greens plus grains bowl. This didn't have a name.
Got it.
Yeah, I made my custom. Mitch, what did you get?
Wags, I got a harissa avocado bowl.
Wow.
And
so that's a prefab.
That's a prefab. I'll tell you what's in it right now. It's a harissa honey chicken plus hot harissa vinaigrette, crazy feta.
Yeah.
Hummus, corn, which I would have removed the corn, but I didn't even honestly notice that much corn. Avocado, rice, super greens, more. And
more?
It says more. And Wags, what a healthy bowl. 880 calories.
That's not terrible for a complete meal.
Sure.
That's not awful.
Just a lot for a fucking bowl.
Well, that's the thing, because you're just getting like the ideal is like, okay, I'm getting pure nutrition, and it's not going to it'll best will taste like pretty good, but it'll fill me up, and it will not be a meal I'm burning on an indulgence. Like that's the ideal for one of these places. So when you start to get closer to 1,000 calories, it doesn't feel as great to eat. But
like the Greek salad, salad, like I love a Greek salad, but I stayed away from the Greek salad because it was Greek salad. Feels like a cheat for bowl.
Yeah, I agree. No, the salad isn't valid. Susser established that. Pally, what did you get from Cava?
So I probably should have done something like that as a first timer, but I went in and I got the rice, the brown rice, and the super greens was like my initial start. And then I got thrown off because they were like dips. And I was like, I don't have dips on my Sweetgreens. So I was like, I'll just say no to the dip. Because maybe that's just like,
oh no.
Maybe that's just like not, you know how sometimes it's like, oh, I don't need a dip.
Yeah.
Then I got to the next station, which was
proteins.
Yeah. So I took the chicken and I saw the falafels and the pita on the side. And I was like nervous, honestly, with the amount that I had in my bowl. I was like, I don't think this is going to fill me up. So I was like, can I get 3 falafels and a side of pita? And then I went and maybe some of the hummus on the side.
Thank God, because I was going to say that would have been the driest.
Yeah,
bowl.
no, because I went back for the dip.
Yeah.
But that was on the side. I didn't put it in the bowl. So I don't know, again, like if you can count
No,
that.
that counts.
Then I topped that bowl off with some corn and some cabbage and the vinaigrette dressing. And here's where I had another problem with the containers because they put the dressing on, did not do a mix. They were like, do you want on the side or on top? And I was like, on top. I didn't think that meant just on top. and then they put the top of the lid on.
Oh yeah.
So when I got back to the table and opened it up,
Oh no.
the dressing was all over the lid, and I lost like half the dressing, and it went all over.
No, they'll just like the way they do the dressing there, because the dressing is distinct from the dip. The dips are like
Different.
kind of like distributed in little reservoirs, and
Yes.
then they just kind of Peter North the dressing all over it. And then if you're getting it to go, it gets compressed down in there.
And that
I've had that happen so many times.
And it bugged me because I was like, if you're not gonna do the smush,
yes.
and the smush and peel and turn or whatever they do, then you have like at least distribute the dressing evenly, because once you put that thing of like part of my salad was coming off and then I had to like scrape it back in. It was just like annoying and not good.
It's a little bit of an issue, and it's one thing I do like about Sweetgreen is that they'll mix the salad at the bar for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing worse than a dry bowl.
100%.
Dry
Yeah.
bowl.
Terrible.
Dry bowl also sounds like the gathering of all my exes together in one spot. But
The dry bowl. Why are you having it in a stadium?
I don't know. It's a good point.
There's like
It's
six
like-
people here.
Hello? Yeah, we're all down here.
3 people in the front row. It's just us.
Rachel?
I had this issue at the other spot.
Interesting.
Really?
Sweetgreen is where I got where I have my dry bowl. We'll get to our orders there.
Yeah, because they also changed, I guess, supply chain wise. Something was going on when I went there too.
There was
Yeah.
I got a box at Sweetgreen.
Me too.
Me too.
But I gotta say this. I kind of enjoyed my bowl at Cava. I was this is not in my regular rotation. Wags, you know I'm a huge Mediterranean fan. Mediterranean food fan. I mean, I like the Mediterranean too. I don't know if I've been there. But Italy counts, right? I've been to Italy. Is that the Mediterranean?
Yeah, although I think when people think of Mediterranean food, they think of Italy as kind of its own thing.
They
Okay.
like Greece, right?
Greece.
Is
I've
like-
never been to Greece before.
Oh.
But I love kebabs. I love Mediterranean food. And this worked for me. I've kind of enjoyed my bowl. It was like I could see myself eating this at work, depressed, and shoveling it down in 10 minutes, which is kind of what this tournament is about depressing work lunches.
100%. And I'll say this. I was not set up for success from Cava because my lovely wife Natalie had also put an order in. Her order included lamb meatballs, and they were like, when we got there, they're like, "We're out of lamb meatballs. We need to make more lamb meatballs."
That's good. Does she use like her own personal credit card?
No, I put it as one order on the Doughboys card.
Okay.
I don't want to be here with this. This seems like a you conversation.
So it was it was like mine was.
meant that when he said that. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Mitch is so worried about money. That's why he brought up lower taxes earlier.
Oh fuck.
Also, he doesn't reply to Weiger's text till after 11 a.m. I think that's when he wakes up.
How
do they know that?
How does this account know that? How does Cum Drip 69 know that?
Hold on a second.
So I was not set up for success here because mine was ready, and then I had to wait another 15 minutes for them to make more meatballs. And
I
then
responded
make
to a
Natalie's
text
bowl.
at 10:57.
I know
Thank
you did.
very
Yes,
much.
I know.
I
And
agree with you completely.
And so I got mine home, and it was like, okay, it had been sitting at room temp for a while. It was room temp or slightly cold when I was eating it. But that said, there was a lot of flavor packed into this. And I think the falafel, I'm not sure what your take was, Pally, but my falafel was really flavorful. Mine had a lot, it was dense and well seasoned. It was certainly better than the falafel we had at last week's chain, Mitch, when we talked about Spitz. And I just think kind of the mix of all the goops, it kind of came together. It was certainly not lacking for flavor and texture.
Yeah, I hated it.
Wow.
I really
Wow.
hated it. And maybe it was
I like it.
because it was Pasadena,
Mhm.
but to me, this was like eating hospital food. Like it was like
Fascinating.
you were making the best of a hospital meal.
But you know what? I can't deny that either. I'm kind of
100%. No.
Yeah, I can see that being a hospital bowl.
I really and I again, it might have been my fault. I might have messed up with the raspberry vinaigrette.
Mhm.
That might have not been the right play, and I was trying to mix up that bowl as much as I could because it was dry because I lost a lot of the dressing, and I was really trying to do it, but I ended up enjoying the pita and the hummus more. As for the falafels, they were okay. I I like a falafel that is a little bigger
Yeah.
and crispier on the outside. This was more like a gnocchi.
Yeah, they're
to
little
me.
guys.
They're little
pretty modest.
soft, kind of like, but it was fine. And honestly, I was so bummed by my bowl that I was like, this is going to have to fill me up. But I ended up eating double the bread that I wanted to because I was like, needed to get those falafel balls.
Sure.
Done. So it was like, not really my favorite. And then you add on top of that it was in Pasadena and every other person in there looked like they had just gotten out of the hospital. And like, and it was like, if I could eat a meal with my mask on, this would be the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never feel that way at Sweetgreens. So.
Well, let's talk about Sweetgreen because I thought this was Sweetgreen's match to lose. I was coming in pretty like, hey, I went, last time we reviewed Sweetgreen, Mitch, I was the high man. I had like a 4 forks plus. And I do like Sweetgreen. I go to it consistently. In fact, I'd gone to it separately before we'd settled on the bowl theme within this past week, like since we've done our last recording. I got the miso bowl. And I should make clear at this point, you can maybe infer it from what I got from Cava. I'm trying to eat vegetarian for the course of this tournament. I think that's I think that's in the spirit of what we're doing here. And so that's how I'm going green to green with these two chains. The miso bowl has shredded kale, warm wild rice, basil, shredded cabbage, toasted almonds. I got tofu instead of blackened chicken, miso root vegetables, miso sesame ginger dressing, and I did get my bread here. And the bread at Sweetgreen is very... I mean, it's just kind of this inert, multi-grain, little slice, but I don't mind it. I think it's fine for sopping up syrup.
Le Pan Quotidien bread.
Is it really?
That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, okay.
It's got that same, where it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Totally fine.
Wait, you got just a slice of the regular bread?
Yeah. Did you get the focaccia?
I got the focaccia.
Wow.
But I like that there's that option.
Yeah.
But I know that did they upsell me on the focaccia?
No, I've gotten the focaccia when I'm feeling like it.
But that counts for our bread, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I see. I agree with you. I came in being like, this is Sweetgreens to lose, and I think again that because bowl places are so order based.
Yeah.
That had I known what I was doing in Cava, maybe I would have had a better experience. But from years of experience at Sweetgreens, I believe that I have constructed a bowl that just works for me perfectly. And with the way that I order it, it covers all of the worries of what a bowl could be.
Yeah.
So I usually enjoy my experience immensely. The packaging of it brought it down a level.
That was huge. We all had the same experience. And there's a sign. I took a picture of it outside the Sweetgreen that's like, due to supply chain issues, we do not have our normal containers. So you may experience a different, to-go takeout container. Thanks, President Brandon was kind of pointed at the end there. And
really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I added that with a pencil.
You wrote that. Yeah. I was like, Sweetgreens wrote that?
It was yeah, that really affected how, and I think it also affected how it was mixed because mine was kind of dry.
Truly, me too.
Yeah.
And I think that part of the tech of Sweetgreen is what makes it superior.
Mhm.
Yeah. The app is pretty good.
App's great.
And I rarely have the thing where I order it on the app and walk in and it's not ready. And the mixing is key. The fact that they will sit there and do the spin with the thing, it's like that makes it pretty superior to me as far as these places go.
Do you guys remember when they used to have the big metal bowls and they put it into a separate metal bowl just for mixing and then they'd pour it in your to-go container?
That was great.
It was fucking great.
Yeah.
I was kind of upset that, so of course there was no bowls. I was on my walk with Mookie. I'm being healthy. In total yesterday I did about 7 miles because I thought I was going to die.
How many
you mentioned
steps
that
is
earlier.
that? Did you?
I don't know. I should look. Can I look at yesterday's steps? Is that
I think so,
possible?
yeah.
Should be.
You
Yeah.
can? Okay.
That seems like something that it's capable of.
I just saw and it looked there that I had 13,000 steps yesterday.
That's a nice stepping day.
And that's like, you mean you're counting stairs in your townhouse, right?
Jesus Christ. You walked more yesterday than the day before. This is funny.
Yeah.
You walked more yesterday than the day before by 14,016 steps.
How many did you walk the day before? One?
We recorded the day before that, so
Yeah.
probably close to 0. I got the crispy rice bowl, which was I was talking to the lady there, Myra, I believe her name is. Yes, Myra from Sweetgreen.
What's up, Myra?
I accidentally told her that it was one of those things, and Mookie made fun of me for it, but I when my bowl was done, I was like, can I get the bread too? And then I immediately felt fat guy guilt for getting bread.
Sure.
And I was like, it's for a podcast. And then I was like,
Never helps.
What have you done? What have you done? And she's like, what's the podcast? And she was like,
God.
She was great. Myra was great. I loved her. She was great. But
Hi, Myra.
She's a happy person and was like, tell me what it is. And like excitedly saying this out loud. And I was like, I'm so embarrassed by this.
Yeah.
And then Mookie came over and told her what it was and kind of ushered me to my seat. But that was embarrassing. I apologize to Myra for telling you that I had a podcast. She said she's going to listen.
Thanks for your service, Myra.
She was great. And there were a couple things because she said the Harvest Bowl was really popular. And I said, I'm thinking about that crispy rice bowl. Is the cashew dressing good? And she said, it's great. The thing is, I didn't realize that cashew dressing was kind of like a Asian style dressing. And I don't love like Chinese chicken salad or something. I'm not a huge fan of.
You don't like a ginger dressing? Don't like a miso dressing?
I'm not a huge fan of dressing. I mean, I don't hate them or anything.
Sure.
It's not my like number one thing. So I didn't realize that the spicy cashew dressing was that. I also think that it doesn't help with the bowls. Like, I want the bowl to look like that. I don't want it all mixed up.
Mitch is holding you. You can show that to the camera.
I don't want it all. I don't want
Just
it all.
holding up a picture of a bowl.
You don't want it mixed up.
7 texts from my mom as I hold that up to the camera. I
Picture of like shit stained underwear. Like, what do I do with these?
You want me to wash these and send these to you?
A credit card statement. This said pay urgent.
It's from the laundromat. It's extra soap costs so much. All right. Stop texting. So this has blackened chicken, raw carrots, shredded cabbage, cucumber, cilantro, roasted almonds, crispy rice, warm wild rice, arugula, lime squeeze, spicy cashew dressing, all mixed up. First of all, it is like a pound of arugula, and it was just too much arugula for my taste. And then it's like just this kind of a dry bowl. Mookie got, and here's what I would have done the same thing. Mookie got the buffalo chicken salad, but it's called the buffalo chicken bowl, but it's under salads. So I didn't think it counted.
Right.
But this to me, it's like it's a warm. They're classified as warm bowls. And when I was eating that crispy rice bowl, I was like, "There's nothing warm about this. It's not warm. I'm not there. Like I'm not. I wasn't getting much of the rice or whatever. It wasn't that warm to me."
I wonder if because mine was very heavy on the kale, and I was expecting like a 50-50 wild rice kale split.
No.
And mine was mostly kale.
Yeah, no. And again, I'll tell you my order, my
Please.
custom, because I really do feel like I perfected it. And feel free, anybody, to go use. I'm sure the Reddit will hate it, which is just you. But I feel like I know all these things about Sweetgreens now. Like, I know that the rice is not equal to the kale. The rice is a side portion. The kale is your bed. The rice is a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And like you have to know that with what else you're getting, which is why to me the mix is so important.
Yeah.
So I'll give you mine because I find that to your point, when my mix is done, it still looks really appetizing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like throw up.
Right.
You know, which is like what you don't want a bowl to look like.
Mine looks like throw up.
Yeah.
It looked like mixed up garbage. And Mookie, who did the buffalo chicken bowl, he gave me like a few bites of his, and I was like, I love this. This is delicious comparatively.
And so I feel like, let me tell you mine, and if you give it another shot, you can tell me if it's not good. The same way I would like to do yours at Cava, because I feel like it's so order based.
100%.
What I do is I get shredded kale, wild rice. Sometimes I will ask for a second scoop, because it's not enough.
Yep.
So now you got like half the bowl is kind of rice. Then I do carrots, cabbage, and cucumber. Then I'll do roasted chicken, double almond, Parmesan crisp, and nacho chip.
That sounds good.
Then I'll go spicy cashew heavy. Then they'll do the mix, and it looks beautiful because it's like purple, orange, green. The spicy cashew gives it a nice like yellowish tint.
Yeah.
And the Parmesan crisp is like a nice way to cut through the ginger and Asian spices.
Yeah.
And it makes it more of just like a nice spicy salad. And I get the bread, and sometimes when I'm getting down to the end of it, because the kale is shredded, it's not great on a fork, I'll smear it on the bread. My problem I found with Sweetgreens is that their silverware sucks, and it breaks all the time.
It does.
And it has broken on me multiple times.
Yeah.
And the bowl they do is the best when they can get it, when Dark Brandon's not clogging up our porch. When they can get their bowls, they're amazing.
Yes.
And so the bummer is like the fork. I have busted a fork many a time.
I wonder, I feel the same way, and I'm like, is it like, is it a biodegradable thing?
It is. The silverware is compostable, or whatever you say that.
Isn't that at Cava too?
At Cava, I think they do have the same thing, but theirs are a little bit more
mine didn't break
substantial.
at Cava, and I noticed that they were better there.
They are a little better.
They look frail. They're like frail. Yes.
It's almost like getting the wood fork, which might as well just be like, a wood fork in a salad is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is a tangent, but I when I've been to the AMC recently, they've abandoned the paper straws for a new kind of biodegradable straw. That
The
is
vomit straw.
Yeah, wait, dude, it tastes like vomit to you?
No, it has the consistency. You know when you would go into like, when you were a kid and you go into like a magic or prank store?
Yeah.
And there would be like fake vomit on the table?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what it's like someone rolled that up. That's what those straws have the consistency of. Like you put it to your mouth and there's like grain in it. And you're like, is this like garbage? Like what?
We had Don's Joke Shop in Quincy, which like only closed not that
Don's or Dawn's?
I think it was.
Are you pronouncing it that way? Is it Don, like Dawn, or is it Dawn, like a female named Dawn?
D-O-N, Don.
Okay.
Don's Joke Shop.
Right.
Which
in
I think
Quincy.
Which only I think closed like within like the last 10, like something incredible.
Pandemic.
But like I think it maybe was like around, but then later as you got older, you realize it was like a pipe store. Like it was like
sure, yeah.
You sell pipes and probably
Porn.
drugs. Yeah.
It was like an adult section.
Yeah.
In the days of DVDs, there was a place in LA near where I lived called Famous Sports Videos. And like they were just like, it just looked like it all had
That's
like
already a funny.
Well, no, you'd go in. And
Why do I have to go? Don't they play this on TV?
You'd go in and it would just be like all like, like great goals and like sports bloopers. It'd all just be like, and like famous matches, and we'll have all those. But if you'd go in there, and I never did this, I never had this interaction, but my roommate did it. No, I'm telling you, my roommate did this. He went in once, and the guy was like, he was in the store by himself, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, the good stuff's in the back." And he went in the back, and it was all these videos that were like called like Ultimate Submission, No Boys Allowed, and it was like a nude wrestling video. It was like all these like it was just all fetish nude wrestling. That was like the main business of the storefront.
You know that just means gay porn, right? That nude wrestling is like gay porn.
Well, yeah,
You're
I guess
explaining it as like still the guy that doesn't know like what it is. You're like, why are these men fighting?
They're wrestling, but their clothes aren't on, and it often turns into something
why
sexual.
Are those men holding hands?
You never went in this store?
No, I would. No, I didn't. But like, I was like,
I was gonna have to say like a moth to a flame. You'd be in that back room immediately. Is my guess.
Setting up a cot. But that's kind of amazing that those niche businesses used to exist before the internet. Anyway, what I was gonna say is like those new straws. I'm kind of amazed they were able to iterate on the plastic straws enough where they have one that doesn't dissolve by the time a movie's over. That's an improvement.
And
you'd think they could do the same with the silverware at Sweetgreen.
There was a kid who lived around the corner from me. His name was Scott Colley.
Yeah.
And he was a guy who would always
Colley or Colley, like Colley or like an AU or an O.
I think it was like AULEY, but it maybe was OWLEY.
Probably OW, and your family's like Colley.
Yeah, I mean Scott. I mean everyone on the street was like Scott Colley. I mean they maybe even said it that way.
A, no, the A.
But Scott Colley was kind of a wild one, and I remember he took a shovel that had no end to it and hit my head open and gave me stitches, and then like his dad came down. I remember his family made a lot of money because their tree, like the lights on their tree burst, and then he like
always a family in town.
But he was a guy who and he's probably a great kid. I don't know.
That's like one of the pranks they sell at Don's joke shop. It's like there's a shovel. You hit your friend with it,
and here's the stitches causing shovel. Thanks, Don. It's Don.
Scott was a guy who would it would be like, oh no, like Scott's fighting someone, and then he would always fall and break his arm. And it happened like,
oh wow,
like I'm not even trying. When I say 8 times, I'm like, it maybe happened more than 8 times. And that's like always, so you're always like, oh, he's like a brittle boned boy or something. You were like afraid that he's like, why is this guy breaking his arm so much? And that's what I feel like when I see those utensils. I'm like, I'm gonna probably grab 2 because I know
I started grabbing 2.
100%.
It's gonna break off in my salad.
I had like a bad day a couple weeks ago, and I had to pick my kid up from school, and I was on the phone, and my usual routine is that I will, on the way to pick my son up, I will stop at a Sweetgreens and grab a salad and eat it in the car in front of his school while I wait, and like answer emails and stuff. And so I did that, picked up the salad, sat down, dug in, first bite, snap.
Ah, fuck.
And I was like, fuck. And then I'm like, you're left with a thing. It's like, do I take the little? Do I just do it little now?
Yeah, the little,
and
that's always demeaning.
It's demeaning, and it doesn't work. You're like, it's on your thumb and shit. So I was like, I'll drive and get another fork. So like I pull out of the spot, which in New York is hard to find anyway. I drive, and I'm like, you should be able to find a fork anywhere. I pull the first deli, run in, no fork. Second deli, run in, no fork. I'm like, geez, one of these places have like a plastic fork.
Yeah.
Finally, I find one. I run back in, throw something throw my backpack in the back seat, run around, didn't realize that when I went out to get the salad, to get the fork, I left my salad open in the front seat, and I sat down.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
And I was so like in a rush to get my son. I sat down, put the car in drive, pulled away, and was like, where's my salad? Not even realizing it was so bad. Like, it was all over my back. It had gone it looked like a baby that like had shit his back. It was like almost up to my hair, because I was like, and I was driving. I was like trying to get to school and everything. And then I got out, and my son was like, what happened? It looked like someone had puked down my back. And it was all because of that stupid Sweetgreen fork.
That fucking sucks.
That's also funny when like a child is like, what happened?
Oh, and it was freezing in New York, and I was like, do I get out of the car with no jacket? And then I'm standing there like, hey, kiddo. So I was just like too late for that. I ran out, and he was like, ew. I stank, and the car stank. It was terrible.
What a nightmare.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
He's probably embarrassed.
Well, look, we got to make a determination. We got to make a call on which of these is going to advance, Cava or Sweetgreen, and we'll do so right after this break. We'll be back with more Doughboys. Welcome back to Doughboys. We are here for the Tournament of Chompions 2023 Munch Madness Bowl. I said that backwards, but you get it. And Pally, it's time for us to make our determination.
You left the sunglasses on the whole time.
Should I take them off?
No, isn't it?
Susser's back. Susser is walking in. What's going on, Susser?
Don't forget who the bowl is going to.
Oh, yes.
That's part of it, yeah.
Can
I take the suit off?
Yes.
It probably helps me mentally to know that you have it on for the rest of the episode.
I get that.
All right,
the
thanks.
suit, it looks like the suit wants to be taken.
Yeah, the suit is begging for it. In fact, if you don't let him soon, it might just go itself.
I think after post-lunch, it might be,
that one button is like Captain America hanging onto a helicopter.
The other side of it is like cliffhanger. Trying to... Isn't it nice wearing sunglasses with the lights, though?
It is kind of cool.
I know.
I
think it's a new thing for you.
Pretty comfy.
You know, the funny thing, I never usually wear sunglasses anyways because I have very squinty eyes, which Weiger has pointed out before.
It's true.
So, like, even driving, I kind of have gotten... I'm like a mole person. I've gotten used to Like
Being awake at night.
well, that's another part of it.
Yeah.
But just driving and stuff, like there'll be like bright sun. I'll just kind of like squint my eyes a little bit. I'll be fine.
Yeah, there are some streets that you will turn down in New York City, and there's no rhyme and reason. Just like the way that this block has a building and this one doesn't. It's like you will turn down some blocks where you are blinded by the sun, like directly in your eyes.
Yeah.
And also, I am high a lot.
Certainly not for this show. We would never allow that as part of our screening process as well. We're one of the few podcasts that drug test still, right, Wags?
Yeah, we're doing that. You thought it was a COVID test when you walked into the studio.
Oh, no, they told me that's why I failed and was still allowed to participate.
All right, Mitch, we always
failed your COVID test.
Yeah, you failed your COVID test and you passed your drug test.
We always do, Mitch, categories for this. And I wrote down a few. I typed out a few, but we can come up with others. But the ones I was thinking up top were greens, grains, protein, dip/dressing, bowl, and silverware, a.k.a. the paleo.
I think silverware now has to include drinks.
Yeah.
Drinks, okay. Silverware/drinks?
I think so.
I think
Okay.
that sounds normal to me.
And then also, wait,
And bread should be in, yeah.
Bread is
But
bread.
I think that could all be one, right?
Silverware/drinks/bread.
I think that works. So there he goes. Did he get his bowl and he's leaving? He looked angry when he just looked at me.
Did he look angry or was it the suit?
The suit is he took the jacket off.
If the suit could talk, it'd be like, I can't believe I'm back here again.
I had one job. I got him through his wedding.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be back here.
Speaking of that wedding, I was there. And let me tell you, when we hoisted Sus up on that chair after the wedding and
You were sore.
I was very nervous.
Why, that he was going to fall off?
Well, they were like, Evan's friends, come over and let's lift him up
Yeah.
in the chair. And it was like me and Jack and a few of us. And we were all like all looking at each other like, oh shit, here we go. Like we're going to try to do this.
It's hard. I as a younger man, I would run to it. And now as an older man, I run from it.
Yes, sure.
Like I don't want to, and like, I feel like sometimes they see me like you're, they're like, and now we're going to pick him up. And the spotlight shifts to me like running out. And I have to like go back in like, it always looks like they're gonna fall.
It looks like they're gonna fall. I did it for Phillips at David Phillips's wedding.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes you get like a guy who's light and you're like tossing him
It's
off
great.
the chair.
Yeah, no, the female side can get crazy.
Yeah. But it is. I'm with you. I am like my friend Joe Aranda's wedding. They put him up on chairs and they put the father of the bride up. And he like almost was in the lights.
Yeah, it's
like,
always
just
awkward.
scared.
It's like too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, during mine, someone handed us an Israeli flag because there were like a lot of Israelis there.
Oh man!
And so the two of us, like, my wife was like over there. And the next thing you know, we're like holding an Israeli flag. We're like, what is this? What? My Israeli cousin's like taking pictures of it. Like, so we always know where you stand.
Kyrie is giving it a thumbs down on social media.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
why he left the Nets.
Yeah. Callie's wedding.
Okay. So let's Mitch. Anything else you want to add? Greens, grains, protein, dips, dressing, bowl, silverware/drinks/bread.
Why? So we talked about this. Where the bowls go.
Where the bowls go?
This is from the very first.
Oh
Munch
yes,
Madness.
and that will be the ultimate decision. That is the Jess McKenna conundrum, which it was what we've used since the very first Tournament of Champions. Which of these are we sending to the aliens as the ideal representation of this particular food stuff?
And this
was
year,
her burger version of it.
Man, our guest is gonna really love this.
Yeah,
this is pre-decided, by the way.
Yes,
it's bowls this year, Wags.
Yes,
and we thought we'd send the winner to the dude.
Bowls are going to the dude.
From the Big Lebowski.
Because of bowling?
Because of bowling. Uh-huh. Right.
It's going to the dude.
A long walk.
And and the bowl's so good that he resurrects Donnie.
Yeah,
That's
Donnie
what we were
comes
saying.
back.
Donnie comes back to life. Spoiler alert if you've never seen the movie. So all you college kids who are watching the movie, it's going to change for you. You're going to have to see Donnie come back to life. That's what we're doing, Wise.
Wow.
And if it's a gutter ball, if it goes back behind, it goes down to the man, Wise.
So do we because for Assessor Strikes rule, do we just say like if it advances?
By the way,
it gets...
this is the second time I've heard Pally give a big. twice in this episode. Once was during Susser, and once was during the dude explanation.
So are we just going to say...
Mentally, there's been a couple more.
If it advances, it gets 3 strikes. Can we just say that? Like if the one that wins gets 3 strikes.
Yes, I think we have to give them. I think we have to give them strikes now.
Why
somehow.
can't you just do this with the first meaning of bowl? Bowls already have all this stuff there. Why do you have to add on the other meaning?
Like this? You mean like the Super Bowl?
No, like why can't like it's a bowl, right?
Just like a literal interpretation.
Literal interpretation. Because now I think bowling has something to do with it.
Well, it does. 3 strikes and you're in.
No, that does not have anything to do with it. That's something you... It was a tournament with brackets.
3 strikes are in.
Okay, great.
That's baseball. Not bowling. 3 strikes in bowling gets you a turkey.
Right.
Right. So we're already mixing.
Turkeys are good.
Turkeys are good.
Right. So it's just like I'm so lost.
Hey, when it comes to these restaurants, do be a turkey. Turkey is good. 3 strikes, you're in.
Okay, great.
Okay. Like now, at least now I'm. If we all decide, it's going to be bowling from now on.
It's bowling.
Okay.
Amelia, when you listen to this later, if you could just transcribe what Mitch just said and then just put it in the text thread. So.
And so it's the winner is going to the dude.
The winner is going to the dude. But yeah, whatever that turkey.
Maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll do like a couple dude impressions on an episode.
Yeah, we might do that.
The more beta guest.
With a guest who isn't funnier than us.
That was the nicest compliment. I was going to say, I can't wait till your next beta guest. What a fun episode.
That's where we shine.
Yeah. You shut up.
But Wags, if it's a gutter ball, if it goes back behind the pins, it's going down to the man. The guy who you eat lunch with every day.
Yes,
quote
the
unquote,
boss.
the man, the boss.
Yeah, the guy who's
going down to the man. So the dude or the man. That's where it can go.
Okay, great. All right, so the categories are greens, grains, protein, dip/dressing, bowl, silverware/drink/bread. I'll just go through these and I will kind of give my own takes and we'll just do these one at a time. Greens, I think Cava takes it because I was just getting kale from Sweetgreen, and the Splendid Greens, I think, actually have like a little bit more going on in terms of texture. The grains, I do like the flavor of that warm wild rice from Sweetgreen. I could have used some more, but I give that one to Sweetgreen. Protein, I got to say that falafel, taking the protein slot, was certainly more flavorful than the tofu that I got, the miso tofu I got from Sweetgreen. So I go Cava for that. Dip/dressing. Here's the thing about Cava. There's so many dips. And I think that's a big part of it is just like I got like 5 different things just sprayed all over that. And that was a lot of fun. And they all kind of blend together, but I think they work together nicely. And I feel like the miso bowl, I was just getting miso. So that one I think I also give to Cava. Bowl, didn't get a bowl from Sweetgreen. So I think Cava takes it. Silverware/drink/bread. Didn't have an issue with the silverware at Sweetgreen. The drink, I didn't get a drink from either place, but you know what? Sweetgreen has a nice little water spigot, which I used to refill my Headgum bottle, which was great. And I didn't get bread from Cava. They forgot my pita, but I got a nice piece of bread from Sweetgreen, so I think Sweetgreen takes it. So it's kind of a split decision for me. Mitch, how do you rank it? And I give you these categories one by one if you need them.
Yeah,
First up, greens, then grains.
Greens, I'm actually going to give to Sweetgreen. I think that Sweetgreen has just a huge selections of greens. I got. It was way too much arugula. I wish that I had mixed it up, and I think Pally's right that you have to customize it. But I'm giving the greens section to them. I actually the opposite wise were grains. I give to Cava. I liked my rice and everything that came in that bowl more.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Protein, and then dip/dressing.
Protein is tough because I think I got to go Cava here, but it's mostly because Sweetgreen didn't give me enough of the. I wanted more chicken in my bowl, and that's it's something that can be fixed though. And I've had decent. I think neither of them blow me away, to be honest with you. But maybe slight advantage to Cava. What's the next one?
And then you just did protein.
Yep.
Dip/dressing.
This is tough because I think that if you get the blue cheese and the hot sauce, which by the way, Sweetgreen has a great hot sauce.
That's a great point.
A great hot sauce.
And I'm a bit of a heat seeker, and they do have really good, like if you get their, you talked about that hot wing,
chicken.
the buffalo chicken one. Yeah, that buffalo sauce on it is quite nice.
I got to go draw. This one gets a draw.
Wow.
They both do a good job. And then what else? What else we got here?
You got bowl,
Cava. There was no bowl. I just didn't have a bowl.
Such a
It's Dark
frustrating
Brandon's
outing
fault,
from
like you guys
Sweetgreen,
said,
yeah.
but it didn't get one.
And then silverware / drink / bread.
Okay, so I actually got bread and silverware and drinks from each of these places. At Cava, I tried to get a lemonade and they didn't have it, and I had a pineapple apple mint. It had no ice, but that's what I got. And that was a pretty nice drink. But you know what? It was beaten by Sweetgreen, which had the hibiscus berry and clover tea, which for 0-calorie tea is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. That one
It's
is really
great.
good.
It's really.
Did you get the fountain one or the one in the bottle?
It's in the bottle. They
Yeah,
didn't
but it's
even
a
have
glass
fountains.
bottle.
It's a glass bottle.
It's good, yeah.
I was truly impressed.
Yeah.
And then here's the crazy thing is that I liked my pita that I got from Cava, and I was using it to basically eat my bowl. I was wrapping, like taking pieces off and using it to eat it. But the focaccia at Sweetgreen was one of the best things I had, so that also takes it. And then silverware is kind of a toss-up, so that goes to Sweetgreen as well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Pally, your first category
I will
is
say that crispy rice treat,
I love that thing.
the Myra, who I love Myra, great. The service was great. I had one. I wasn't as sold on it, but it
I
is
like
a
it.
healthy
It's
version
healthy.
of yeah.
should we? I guess that should probably be silverware / drink / bread / treat then, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, great. All right, Pally, first category, greens.
Greens, I go to Sweetgreens. I did not like the super green mix. I didn't like the way it was shredded.
Yeah.
It was like, it reminded me of the sprouts you get on pad thai. Like, I just didn't, which I hate anyway. Like, I just didn't like it. It was bothering me.
Totally fair, and Nally has pointed this out, and it's really strange that the super greens at Cava are kind of whack, but the splendid greens are pretty consistently good.
Yeah,
and I don't know why super is bad and splendid is great.
And again, it's just a choice. Like, I think I made the wrong choice, but I
but
have
that's
to give
confusing to the consumer. Like, why is
Yes.
super so different from splendid?
Yes, so I have to give it to Sweetgreens
Yeah.
because I think, again, like, the fact that I can eat that kale and enjoy it, and it's not like chewy and kaley,
Mm-hmm.
I give it to Sweetgreen.
Grains.
Again to Sweetgreen. I think
Wow.
that wild rice is better than any of the rices at Cava.
Protein is your next category.
Protein, I'm going to give to Sweetgreen as well. I really like the roasted chicken, and
Mhm.
sometimes when I mix it up, I like their tofu as well. So I feel like, and the chicken I got from Cava, it was just reminded me of like being in a hospital lunch line or something. Like, it just was not hitting.
I immediately was transported back to a hospital times, and
Yeah.
I was like, I could see that.
Sure.
Ordering a bagel.
Yeah.
Ordering a bagel when my father died.
Yeah,
I never
and
told
we're
you that,
just
did I?
Yeah, that's grim.
You're just like in the hospital and you're hungry and sad or sick or whatever. And
Yeah.
then you go down and you're like, just make whatever I can work. And you get like a chili and a rice and a lettuce. You like pour it all into something. You're just like dipping a bagel in it. It's like that. I didn't want that from lunch.
Yeah.
It seemed grim.
I have that feeling at times eating at both of these places.
Do you think it was weird to just like offhandedly talk about how I ordered a bagel when my father was
No, I
passing
like
away?
it.
Yeah,
I
no,
liked
it's-
it.
All right, thank you.
It
what
made
the
me feel.
podcast
It made me
is.
feel more comfortable because most of my experiences are about death.
Yes. All right.
So I
good.
have, and if they're
Not
not,
good,
about it,
but,
if
yeah.
they're not about it, they inform the rest of it.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry guys.
No problem.
Then so that I give it to Sweetgreens too. Then we go to what?
A dip / dressing.
I hated the dressing at Cava.
Man.
So I got
And you got the dry bowl. You got
and I
bones.
did get a dip eventually. I went back for that hummus, which is good. The hummus was good, but I don't know. I prefer. I've had most of the dressings at Sweetgreens. I like them all kind of.
The
Sweetgreen
next category, bowl.
Cava.
Yeah,
I
it's gotta be.
was so bummed. And the people at Sweetgreen were even like, talk to Dark Brandon. And I was like, I don't want to get roasted. So I give that to Cava.
And then the final category, silverware / drink / bread / treat.
I give that to Cava. As much as I like the treat at Sweetgreen and the bread at Sweetgreen, I think that pita was superior to
Pita's pretty good.
to
Pita-
all of it.
I didn't get one. I've had good pita from there before, but they didn't
I
include
feel
it.
like it's like seasoned. It's just like better than most.
That focaccia really knocked my socks off.
I feel like now I'm going to go back and re-experience the focaccia, but so I would give that to Cava actually, and then the also the silverware and the drinks were better at Cava.
Mm-hmm.
I had it's harder to find Sweetgreen's hibiscus tea or a station at Sweetgreen anymore.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that option. So I made a half Arnold Palmer at the station, and I always like that.
Yeah.
Natalie gets this to me is pure chaos. Natalie gets a drink from Cava. She gets half lime cucumber fresca, or not fresca, half lime cucumber. Whatever the fuck that thing's called. Not fresca, the brand. The
agua fresca.
Yeah, agua fresca. Yeah, half lime cucumber, half root beer.
That's
she
chaotic.
swears by it. It's nonsense.
Joker energy.
Yeah, but she says it's great.
That is so insane.
Isn't that wild?
I momentarily thought, is Natalie the weirder one for a second, which is insane. That's how insane that order is. That's wild.
Yeah. Anyway, so this year's version of the McKenna conundrum, the Bulls are going to the dude to bring Donnie back to life. Which of these is going to advance? I'll say, I just need to say this because I don't think I've been clear on it. This is a down outing from Sweetgreen for me. And there's a chain I really like. And I think in a vacuum, if you said, which one do I like better, Sweetgreen or Cava, I would say Sweetgreen. But this particular outing was not Sweetgreen's best day. And that may inform my decision here. But we're all going to take a second.
And it makes sense because 3 strikes, because we're going to say what we're giving a strike to. And if a place wins on 2 strikes, that's a 7-10 split decision.
Okay. And it still advances?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a 7-10 split decision.
Got it.
I thought we just made a list. What was the last segment for?
Well, now we're about to announce our winner.
We're announce our winner. We're going to count down from 3 to 1.
Okay.
And then we'll say in unison which of these 2 chains, Cava or Sweetgreen, we think
is getting our strike.
Which one is getting our strike?
What does that mean? So
3 strikes,
3 strikes you're in.
Okay.
So that's good.
So, but it also
3 strikes collectively from all 3 of us.
Yes.
Yeah, but also if it
can
gets
move
2
on with
strikes,
2 strikes.
it's a 7-10 split.
It's a 7-10 split decision.
Sorry.
So
yes.
now we're mixing baseball, bowling, rhyming, and the bowls of the bowls.
Yeah, and boxing kind of with split decision.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Great.
MMA.
Yeah. No, I'm following.
All right, great. I'm going to game time it because I honestly don't know. And I'm not going to know until it comes out of my mouth. This is a tough one.
This might be the closest. This is the first round, the first episode we're recording of the tournament, and this might be the closest one.
Yeah.
I'm really close here. I think I got to go with my heart.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to count down from 3 to 2 to 1. Here we go. 3,
Sweetgreen.
2, 1. Cava. Man, I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be Sweetgreen. I thought I was going to say Sweetgreen, but I think Cava had a better outing. I'm kind of bummed that Sweetgreen is eliminated because Sweetgreen could beat a lot of the first round matchups, but I think Cava just had a better day.
I can't believe we eliminated Sweetgreen. We're fucking idiots.
I mean, I don't think Cava, I think that the tail of the tape will run on this one. I could see Cava's closing down within 6 months.
Could be.
100%.
Could be.
It doesn't seem like the type of thing that's growing.
Not only this, it's literally hard to get Cava for me. This is the restaurant that's hard. Like
there is no the lack of them leads me to believe that they are on their way out.
There was an Asian fusion Chipotle copy that was called Shop House that I really like. Shop House was good, and Shop House is shut down everywhere. Lemonade, same thing?
Well, it's reduct. Remember, Lemonade was in the airport.
Yes, yeah.
And it's people were like, wait, actually, it's really bad.
Yeah.
It still is in that one terminal.
Is that where the only place it is?
It's
there's no more of them in the valley.
A lot of them
have closed.
Down.
Yeah,
because all I remember from Lemonade is you would walk in there and you'd be like, ugh, what's the least diuretic option that I'm going to get from this? Everything just screamed. It was peanut curry salad. You're like, that's going to make me shit.
Yeah.
That I felt very similarly. And also it was that funny thing of Lemonade felt like a place where it was protein without the base.
Yes.
It was here's 3 salads that kind of don't go together and there's no base.
And there's no consistency. So you would get a ginger dressing with a curry chicken on top of lentils.
And almost everything is pre-made and just sitting there in the cold case. And as they start to expand, they went to a central kitchen and we're just we're shipping all that shit
I
out.
gotta say,
So
there were
it's
some
been made like
salads there that
a
were
week
good.
ago.
There was like
some of it was okay,
okay.
But that's the thing about this type of restaurant that again, like my parting thought would be like, these are the best. I was sitting in Cava, which was to me the worst of these kind.
Yeah.
And it is still the best and only type of this experience that I like, and I think there should be more of them.
Yeah.
It's like
I thought Weiger was going to vote Sweetgreen. Truly,
you know what? I might have if I'd had something. It might have been the box.
it was
That
definitely
alone
the
might have
box.
been it.
You know what fucked me up about the box too?
Yeah.
It got me dirty too because you can't put a dressing in a box and have sides that fold out.
No.
Because there's no other way to eat it. So I had to rip the sides off.
Yeah.
It was just awkward. But again, is that their fault or is that the Democratic Party
people raising the taxes,
being too woke?
Yeah, it's true. Well, look, we're advancing on to face the winner of the Poke region, Poke Bar versus Sweetfin. Will be Cava, and Sweetgreen will live to bite another day
Cava's gonna
in
get
Fat Chance
crushed.
Kitchen.
Cava might get crushed.
You know
Cava's
what?
gonna get crushed.
This might be like trying to think of a mid-major school making it to the Sweet 16. This might be Cava's
St.
equivalent.
Bonaventure.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Will Sweetgreen be back somehow? Maybe.
Maybe.
See what
We'll
happens.
see.
How do you get back in?
We have like a resurrection tournament.
Yeah,
and-
Fat Chance Kitchen,
Fat
which
Chance
is like the losers bracket.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Hey, just like a restaurant value feedback, let's open the feedback.
I've never been depressed by a winner before. I just have to it's fine.
This whole month is kind of depressing, is the thing, because like none of this is like fun to eat.
Why? Because it's Black History Month.
I'm so happy Wag said it instead of me.
It's this episode's releasing in March, so
all right, good.
great.
Few.
Okay, today's email is from Steve. Steve writes, a sailor recently survived 24 days lost at sea eating only ketchup and garlic powder. If you could eat nothing but one condiment and one spice for
Wow.
24 days, what would it be? If Weiger actually did this with mayo during his youth, he has to come up with a new suggestion. I did not do that with mayo during
And
my
one
youth, but I
spice.
did
Wait,
used
what
to
was
like
the spice? He eats ketchup
Garlic.
and
ketchup and garlic powder. That's it. Love the show.
shit.
Thanks, Steve.
And all right.
I guess what part of it is what defines a condiment, because I think like peanut butter is like a cheat. That's like a
Or like
protein.
hummus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't say peanut
butter is a fucking cheat.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So really, he means a sauce.
He means a sauce. Yeah, and I don't think you want anything too sweet. I kind of think in terms of having some substance to it, I'd want to go with either like a pico de gallo or a dill relish. I feel like one of those like actually kind of feels
Pico de
like
gallo
food.
is a great answer.
Maybe it is pico
Very
de gallo.
smart.
Maybe that's the move.
Because basically you're just eating tomatoes.
Yes, yeah.
At that point.
Which you would get sick of, but it's something.
Yeah, I don't know if
I don't
that's
know.
exactly the equivalent of ketchup, though.
Okay. So maybe if we're going for something that's got more of a viscosity like a sauce, you know what?
Michael Ranch.
I might go jug. Give me that
I
jug.
think I would go guacamole.
Guacamole's pretty good.
Guacamole is great.
I would go guacamole and like chili flakes.
Yeah, a little bit of spice will do a lot to liven it up because you can like
'Cause you're
portion
eating
that
it
as
every
needed.
day.
If you
Yeah,
couldn't
exactly.
do guac, if it had to be sauce, do you have an answer for sauce?
Okay, well, sauce. Yeah, I think sauce, and this is just because it's the taste that I think I would least get sick of.
Mhm.
I think it would be soy,
Soy is pretty good.
and I think that the fact that it's light, like it could sustain. But I think I would need something in the second thing that is a little thicker to hold on to. So like maybe like an onion powder or like a yeah, something like that.
Now you have me thinking hoisin sauce,
I
which
got
is
an
like a
answer, Wags.
thicker soy
Yeah.
kind of.
I have an answer, and I think for survival, it's a good answer.
Yeah.
And I think that you'll like this answer.
Okay.
Gravy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Italian gravy, like Nona's gravy. Or like
I mean,
gravy,
honestly,
gravy.
both answers. I was thinking like a meat gravy.
Yeah, like a sausage
like a
gravy,
marinara
something hearty.
Not like a marinara, but I think a marinara would also be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Mhm. Yeah, marinara would be great.
Was
Or
it
like
your
an
grandma
au
who was
jus?
on
Yeah.
yeah,
My grandma was
an
on.
episode of Gabrus's the
Oh right, yes.
Yeah. Her best line was the waiter. She ordered lobster bisque, and the waiter was like, "We only have that on the weekend." She was like, "I might not live that long."
Is it 101 places to party before you die? All
Yeah.
right, I knew it.
We've been to 8.
You should get to all 100.
I hope so.
I watched every episode. It was
I
hilarious.
hope we
Great
can
show.
have. If we go again, I speak for Gavis.
Let him go again.
I can't wait to have you guys.
Let him go again.
Let
It's
him
on
go
HBO
again.
Max, right?
Yeah.
People can stream it on
Check
HBO
it out
Max.
on HBO Max.
Yeah,
2 of the funniest people in the world.
getting fucked up.
I think I would go meat. I think I would go meat gravy.
I like that. I
It's
like
pretty.
that call.
It's pretty good.
And
Yeah.
then like
I'm just
for-
thinking about drinking soy sauce every day. I would look like they found me at the bottom of a lake.
They find your boat and they just kind of like push you back.
Yeah,
out.
they're like, don't look. Nothing. We didn't find anything.
That now the adding now like that's the tougher thing is like I guess I would maybe add like garlic or something to the gravy. That's the harder thing. Like I don't think you have to eat them together. Like because I would
That's
just
what I
go
was gonna
gravy
say.
straight up maybe.
Because I was
And then
almost
just
thinking.
do rails of garlic powder.
Yeah. I think you could maybe get something, keep yourself from going completely insane by having 2 different flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Maybe not just heat, but like if you were like, okay, I'm gonna have something like a hoisin sauce, something that's like a thicker sort of, more substantial sauce, that's a little bit more savory, and then I'm gonna have like cinnamon with me. I'm gonna have something that just like tastes different, that maybe doesn't have a lot of nutrition to
I
it,
like
but
that.
I'm gonna have that on its own to just kind of reset
That would
my
maybe
mind.
tide you over a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it tastes like you're eating dessert.
Yeah.
Or maybe for sanity reason is not bad. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that combo, gravy and cinnamon.
I
is where
think
I'm
that's.
going.
I think that's the winner.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, let us know your thoughts. Hashtag.
How quickly would you eat me if we were on like a boat, a raft out?
Was that the hashtag?
Yeah.
Hashtag. How quickly would you eat me?
Now I'm really lost.
I feel like that might overlap with some. It's like kind of like that video store where it might overlap with some fucking nasty stuff.
Can't wait to see the Reddit on that.
If we were in a boat together, if we were in a,
It'd be so hard to cook something in a boat.
that
be a
it'd
challenge.
be really hard to cook. And so we're in
You
a,
have to be on an island
we're on an island.
Okay, sure.
I-
with
and
no
I-
fruit and no. It's just like beach.
and I die. How long before you eat me? I'd say probably pretty
Quick.
immediately with
Yeah,
you.
really. I'd say because I would know that like, okay, you're gonna rot.
Yeah, the longer you go.
Yeah, the longer you go. So I just got to do it now, and I would just accept like it's just meat,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of meat to be frank.
Yeah, we know.
Last a while if I.
I don't
salt
think
it
I
and cure
would.
it.
Honestly, I don't think I could eat another person. Like
That's
I
the
think
answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Which is the nicer answer.
I think I just don't have it in me to like butcher and like hang upside down a person and like let the blood out. And
Yeah,
shit.
you watch like that yellow, like
You'd
they
be-
do on Yellow Jackets. It's pretty grim. But
You'd be surprised by how quickly he'd probably do it.
well,
think.
Yeah, you're
I
like
would
one
go
of those
into
guys.
I would go into Boy Scout survival mode. But I think there is an element of my brain where I'd be like, if I'm really on this deserted island and there's just nothing here. I'm probably going to die
You're
anyway.
prolonging it,
So
yeah.
what am I going to do? So,
Yeah.
why am I going to immiserate myself for the last, few days of my life? Why bother? Maybe if I have like an implement I could use to cut you up, I would maybe use it to take my own life.
Yeah,
and maybe
or,
just
or,
that would be
or
it.
like find a tree.
Or find a tree. Yeah, that I could do that. If you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at doughboyspodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GO-DOUGH.
we
That's
crash wreck on an island and Weiger's
830-463-6644.
immediately just fucking full steam ahead to a tree.
Like, dude, you don't have to hang yourself right now.
Like, give it a
I don't
day.
want the belt to disintegrate.
We have lifeboats.
What's the use? The next couple days is gonna be hell.
The
We're
tournament
in Puerto Rico.
The tournament continues all month long at the Doughboys Double, only at
Wow.
patreon.com/Doughboys. And hey, we're going to be talking about the tournament on Doughboys Snack Pack on Spotify Live. Hang out and chat with us every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Listen live on Spotify. Adam Pally, the movie is Who Invited Charlie? Everyone check that out. It
Thank
is
you
on
so
demand.
much.
Tell us about the movie and anything else you want to plug.
Oh no! It's a really fun movie. It's about a guy who's like doesn't have his act together, and he reunites with an old friend, and then during the pandemic, seeks out that old friend's house for shelter, uninvited.
Wow.
And it's kind of like What About Bob or Uncle Buck or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and it's really funny and sweet and light, and it's a quick watch. I'm really proud of it.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
watch
check it
it
out.
this weekend. I saw it last night. I saw it on Apple.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
oh good.
yep.
That's a good sign, I guess.
And now I'm like very excited. One of the funniest.
congrats.
One of the funniest guys.
Congrats.
Thank you guys
doing
so
this
much for
bullshit.
having me. I
Yeah.
really, really love being here.
God bless. What a treat. And hey, that'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Nick Weiger. Happy eating!
See ya. on the next Doughboys Double.
Munch Madness 2023, the Tournament of Chompions Bowl continues in the Poke region.
Wow. Bowl. Oscar Montoya joins to decide which bowl is best, Poke Bar or Sweetfin, Wags.
Wow, which bowl will advance to take on the quarterfinal match 1 winner, Cava?
Find out Tuesday only at patreon.com/Doughboys.
Sources for the intro are in the episode description.
That was a Headgum podcast.